The Buffalo Bills had a big victory on Saturday night against the Miami Dolphins. And it was a great game. Nice to see some snow and a big Bills victory. So, first of all, you know, the Miami Dolphins are going to be a hard team for the Bills to deal with for several years to come. That combination of Waddle and Hill is just hard to defend. They're both so fast and really good wide receivers. So, unfortunately, we have that to look forward to as Bills fans. Speaking of the snow, their head coach, I thought he said that he wanted it to be colder, was hoping it would be colder. And before the game, a fan near me flicked a little bit of snow, just flicked a little, towards him, and he ran to the police officer to ask for help. Wow. Police officer, by the way, pointed out some teenage kid that he said he saw with his own eyes. It wasn't him. And told the kid to go to his seat. But whatever. I tried to help and the cop wouldn't listen to me. And then during the game, he asked for a 15-yard penalty. He talked to the referees about getting a penalty on the Bills because of snowballs being thrown on the field. The Bills didn't clean the seats. Maybe they didn't have time to do it. They did delay the gates opening by 15 minutes, and I don't think it was snowing that much before the game, but they didn't clean off any of the seats or even look like they tried to because there was a lot of snow on the seats. So I guess they left them the weapon, but don't throw things on the field. I'm never going to want you to do that. You know, throwing snowballs at each other in the seats, that was actually a little bit of fun. I got hit with a couple. Didn't throw any, but got hit with a couple. All in good fun. But throwing things on the field is dangerous no matter what it is. I remember in minor league baseball, when I worked in baseball, an umpire actually turned to me in the seats and asked me to remove a fan because he threw a peanut at him. And I was like, really, a peanut? And the umpire said, it's precedent. You can't let him throw anything or it'll just escalate. And, you know, that's the whole point here. Even if it was a snowball or as the Miami Dolphin fans or coaches are saying, ice balls, which I never got hit with an ice ball. They were all snowballs. But it just escalates. Who knows what'll be next? So you can't throw anything. Let's just stop that. Plus, Bills fans are known for throwing something completely different on the field. I'd rather have you throw one of those than throw any snowball. So on to the next thing. My MVP of the game is Coach Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey's been getting a lot of stuff piled on him this year for his play calling as a first-year play caller. But this game, he really called a fantastic game, especially on the last drive, getting us to go down the field and score the winning field goal. I really thought Ken Dorsey had a great game. He got the tight ends involved, which we talked about last video, was maybe we were waiting and we could game plan now to get the tight ends involved. Well, we did. We game planned. Dawson Knox had over 90 yards receiving, and Quentin Morris got his first NFL touchdown pass reception. And it was a really nice reception. I love his touchdown or his play celebration when he pretends he can't get the ball out of his hands. And that's from that movie. Anyway, and then Josh Allen, after the game, praised Ken Dorsey for the red zone play calls. He said he brought in some new red zone plays this week, and they worked well. So you've always got to be adapting. We had been struggling in the red zone, but we didn't this game. And that's one of the main reasons that the Bills won, is because the Dolphins were kicking field goals in the first half where the Bills were scoring touchdowns. We were trading field goals for touchdowns, and I'll do that any day of the week. Josh Allen is obviously a very magical player. What other quarterback in the league has the arm talent that Josh Allen does, the accuracy that Josh Allen does, the legs that Josh Allen does? Did you see that long run Josh Allen had? And then the hard throw up the middle to Davis to get a first down on 3rd and long. And but at the same time, Josh, know your game situation, because I was screaming throw the ball at the end of the first half when there was 8 seconds at the beginning of the play. We needed a quick pass for a touchdown attempt, not a run all over the place, show your Josh Allen magic. But at the same time, it turned into a touchdown. So you're like, we better get the 3. We're not going to get the 3. Oh, we got the 7. Fantastic. So it is what it is. And Josh Allen rolling right and throwing from his rollout right for touchdowns. There's nobody better in the NFL. I don't think there's anybody been better in the NFL ever. That guy, I mean, look at it. Look at some of the plays where he has rolled right before he goes out of bounds and throws a touchdown pass. This year alone, I think he's got 4 of them. It's crazy. The other player I wanted to talk about was Trey White. Mr. Shutdown Corner. Isn't it great to have him back? And I think he's better than he was before he was injured, because you could see it in the pregame. All last year when I went to games, every single game, Trey White has his headphones on and he looks so serious and so focused. He has his blinders on. He is paying attention to this game. And that's the way some players are. And some players have fun and mingle with fans and do things before the game. And everybody has to get ready their own way. But Trey White, always very focused. Not this game. I saw a different Trey White before the game. Big smiles on his face. He went through our section and signed autographs for everyone in the area. And, well, I already had a Trey White autograph from training camp, but everybody else in my area got his autograph. I did shake his hand. He just looked happy. And maybe that's what you get when you have a year after being injured, is you come back a little bit of a different player. And he just looked like he was enjoying it. And I personally think if you can enjoy playing football on top of your skill and things like that, and still play focused, and still play the way he did at a high level during the game, you're going to take your game to another level. Von Miller does that. And I think Trey White's now going to be even a better player than he was before he was injured, which is incredible because he was an awesome cornerback before he was injured. Now I think he's going to be even better. How about that time management on the final drive, though? We talk about bad time management or questionable time management by Josh on the last play that resulted in a touchdown in the first half, but time management on that last drive. I think there was like 4.5 minutes left when the drive started. They drove down the field. I think it was 18 plays, a great mixture of runs and passes. And then Singletary has the knowledge that he could have scored a touchdown, but he fell at the 1. He dove down the 1 or 2 yard line, and just like against the Baltimore team, he fell down and laid down on purpose so that the Bills could line up for the game-winning field goal. And on that game-winning field goal, our team is obviously very coached up on this kind of thing because it doesn't happen a lot. But the players went out there and used their hands and their feet to clear off as much spot as they could for the game-winning field goal. If they would have used a towel or anything other than their hands and their feet, it would have been a penalty. And remember, that penalty comes from way back when the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins played in a snow globe up there in New England. And right before the Patriots were about to kick, they used the tractor went over and cleared off a spot. So you can't use anything. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, another team used a towel. You can't do that. I was so afraid that one player was going to take his towel off and wipe off the ground, or, there were assistants out there on the field, staff members, and I was afraid somebody was going to do something. But the team was well coached up. Spencer Brown, especially, he cleared off as much as he possibly could. Reggie Gilliam as well. All those guys were out there. It looked like a big cleaning crew, just using their hands and their feet to make room. And that was great to see, and great coaching by our entire coaching staff to make sure that they knew how to do that and do it correctly and do it well. And then, obviously, Tyler Bass gets up there and kicks the game winner. And what a celebration. Guys were sliding across the field, doing angels on the field. The snow was flying up and down in the seats. What a memory. What a memory. This game was definitely worth the price of admission. And I am so glad we went. The one thing I'd like to work on is consistency. The team is playing fantastic football, and they're on both the offense and the defensive side of the field. The third quarter, there's some struggles in there, and you've got to go out and you've got to do it each and every play, each and every down, each and every play, because it's got to be consistent. And in the third quarter, it wasn't consistent. So that's just one thing to work on. Boy, if that's the one thing we got to work on, we're doing great. But now we go on to Chicago, a big game in Chicago with Montgomery and Fields running the ball there. And both those guys are really good players. So we do have some work in front of us this week, but it's another important game, as they all are, as the Buffalo Bills hopefully can continue to be in first place in the American Football Conference. And that game is taking place on Christmas Eve. So I just want to make sure and wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. And let's always remember, God loves you, and so do I.